Hi everyone. I'm talking about my morning. It's not really a routine because it changes, but what I've been doing lately. And I suppose I can tell you this time how it changes also, because I've now got onto the place in my yoga practice on my mat where I am doing physical movements. So I've just done some healing with my hands, and I talked about in the last video. And now I very slowly come to a standing position, also mindfully with awareness. I'm not coming out of that place. I'm not just kind of standing up any old how, you know. I'm doing it mindfully and I'm doing it with awareness. So I come to standing on my feet, and I guess I like to feel what it feels like with my feet about hip width apart. And I like to ground myself. So the way I'm doing that at the moment is by imagining energy or roots coming down and in from the top of my head and traveling down my arms, down my front body, down my back body, rooting down the very center of my body, each time going down into the earth and through the soles of my feet and down into the earth. Sometimes I take notice that almost like that coming down into the earth connects with the center of the earth and then picks something up and almost draws some of that earth energy back up into my body. I don't do that always, but when I was watching a grounding YouTube video of another lady called Teal Swan, she mentioned that and I thought I'd try it. Hello, helicopter. And I found actually I could notice something physically different with my energies within my body. So sometimes I'm bringing that into my practice. And quite often when I do those grounding techniques, I notice that my pelvis changes position. It tucks under more. My sacrum, my perineum, points down towards the ground more, rather than flicking out behind me towards nowhere really. And I find that when I do this, it changes the way I breathe, it changes my posture, it changes so many different things. And it's something that maybe you can try if you want to. So once I've done that, I might then start bringing a bit of movement into my body, whether it's squatting down and doing something where I'm elongating my spine through squatting and bringing more space between my vertebrae, or maybe it's a forward bend, which also brings more space, but it also brings my head down lower than my heart, and it's a very kind of quiet, calming posture to bring your head down. And that also is a really great way of just releasing and relaxing down towards the ground with your head and your spine and everything. And then I might roll up or come up with a flat back, and then I might do some back bends, just very gentle. At the moment my yoga is very, very slow, very calm, very present. I'm not doing anything fancy like doing headstands or going up against the wall and doing arm balances, or doing some very quick flow movement. It's just not where I'm at the moment, especially with all the healing I'm trying to do and reducing my medication, which I've done recently, and has definitely wobbled me a lot in lots of different ways. So I'm still healing, and so for me my yoga is very gentle and kind of slow and mindful. So I might do some gentle twists, whether it's standing or sitting. What else do I do? I might do things lying down where I'm bringing my knees into my chest, and then I might lengthen my legs up and stretching my hamstrings, and which very easily extends the breath and also helps me with trying to alleviate some of my problems in my gut area. So for me, that's really helpful with my digestive system and my stomach and everything. So basically, even if you don't know or you don't go to any yoga classes, and maybe, yeah, you've never done yoga in your life, just stand, not necessarily on a yoga mat, but somewhere that's comfortable, that's clean, that's tidy, you've got some space, and just do some movements. Doesn't matter what movement it is. You know, it doesn't have to be qigong, it doesn't have to be anything specific. Just bring in this kind of feeling of kind of inquiry, this feeling of exploration. You know, what can you do that will bring maybe some more openness, or maybe a slight stretch that will make you breathe differently, or you know, it's not something that you need to have an awful lot of learning in, or someone's taught you fancy things along the way to like kind of redo what you've been taught. But, you know, if you're finding that you're coming to a dead end with your physical body and, you know, oh, I don't really know what to do with it, why don't you go and start a class, start a lesson that takes your fancy, something that's really mindful. Maybe it's Tai Chi, maybe it's Qigong, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's something in the swimming pool that you love. Anything, and then you can come and do it yourself in your space, in your home, whenever's the right time for you, whether it's morning, somewhere else in the day, or evening before bed. We all have a different time when it's the right moment with our own commitments in our life to bring to our bodies. So anyway, how do I finish up? I finish personally with a mantra, and I put my hands, the right over the left, and I bring it down. My arms are rested. I could be standing or I could be sitting doing this. And it's just a yoga thing I've learned. And yeah, so that's what I do. And then I usually bring my hands to my heart center, and I also do a forward bend. Some people say namaste. They might say all sorts of different things in their mind or out loud, but it's just nice to kind of come down and bow down to yourself and to everyone in the whole world and the people in your life that you come into contact with, and just say thank you, and say thank you to yourself for coming to the mat today and helping yourself in any way that you can. I think I will do another video on something that happened yesterday that I'd like to share with you. Yeah, so that's the next video.